Hello everyone, it's Payman, and I hope you are all doing good. I made this video to help you automate your Git commit process using AI. And yeah, writing commit messages can sometimes be a tedious task, especially when you're trying to keep them consistent and descriptive. And in this video, I'll show you how to create a shell script that uses AI services like Groq, a local AI like Olama, and Gemini to generate commit messages for you. We'll go through the script step by step, explaining what each part does and why we need it. And yeah, let's get started. First, let's understand the script and what's the issue. As you know, manually writing commit messages can lead to inconsistency and can be also very time consuming. Actually, sometimes I don't know even what to write, like you just update a line or do something and then you don't know even what to write about in the commit message. And thinking about that is always a struggle and a challenge for programmers. And by automating this process using AI, we can ensure that all commit messages are consistent and provide detailed descriptions of the changes that has been made. And yeah, now I would like to also talk about setting up the environment. And before we start writing the script, make sure you have the following tools installed. First one is Git, which I'm sure everyone has it installed, but if not, just search for that, like about how to install Git, and I'm sure you can find lots of tutorials and sources to install Git. Secondly, it's curl, which right now I'm using my MacBook Pro, so it's an Apple. Yeah, so iOS, you can just use brew install and then curl. For me it works. For you, if you have Windows or Linux, try to find how to install curl, because we're going to use curl services in the shell script to send your requests for Gemini and for Groq APIs. And then JQ, which is a library for actually it's a very lightweight and flexible command line JSON processor, so it's a library. And then you also need to have access to AI services that we are using. So for local AI, you can install Olama. Right now I have it installed, but if not, you can just go to olama.com, download it. Make sure that your computer can support Olama. It's not that heavy, but depending on the models, of course. But it's a nice tool to have as a local AI, because you can run your local AIs on Olama. And as a UI, web UI, I use Open Web UI for Olama. So it gives me the ability to just have a nice UI to work with Olama on my computer. Of course, we might not even use that in this tutorial, but having that to be able to chat with your models, it's quite useful and handy. And then yeah, we can install some models once you installed Olama. I personally actually suggest Phi 3, which has been made by Microsoft. It's very light and it can also almost be run by many computers, even mobile devices, and it's quite powerful. So if your computer is not that strong, instead of the medium version, you can install the mini version or the small version, depending on your computer. You can choose. All of them are quite good enough to use as a tool for our use case. And other than that, actually, we can also use Llama 3 as a model, especially the 8B version is quite useful and can be very handy. And then also you can use some of the other versions. So I'm going to talk about the other ones also. So you have lots of options on Olama. All the open source models can be installed and you can try them out. Google just introduced Gemini 2, which is also quite good. And yeah, another option which is right now free and is very professional is Groq. Groq AI. You can just go to groq.com and then register, and once you are registered you can go to Groq Cloud, and there you have a playground which you can play with it. You can check the different models which are available. The speed is amazing in Groq, and the cost is also almost free, unless you have a very special use case, which in that case maybe you have to speak with them. And then you can use API keys and then generate your own API. I already generated one for myself, and you just can, after registration, you just click on create API key and create your own API key and use it. It's free. Again, you can just use it as you want. Same is with actually Gemini AI Studio that Google. They also made a free version. Of course, I already have my key, but once you are registered on Google AI Studio, you can just ask for an API key, and if you don't, overlap with the threshold that they have, you're not gonna be charged. So don't worry about being charged. And yeah, so after having your desired version, or you can also try it with all of them, including Groq, Gemini, and Olama. I have all of them on my computer. So Olama on my computer, and also I already have my API key for Google AI Studio and for Groq. So let's get started. Yeah. First, open the .env file. So we use this environment file to separate our Groq and Gemini API keys. This way, once we pushed our codes, we can just avoid pushing API keys with the code, because they are important information and we want to exclude them. So just remember to, if you have a .env file, also put that in gitignore. So just make sure that it's been ignored here, because it's useless if we have it as in .env file, but it's not being ignored. So right now, because I have it not ignored right now, I have to first delete it. Actually, sorry, I'm going to copy it and then delete it, and then git add, git commit, delete env file, and then git push. So now that it's been excluded, I can remake the .env file. This time it's been ignored, so I can have my Groq API key and Gemini API key here listed, and then it's not gonna be pushed with my commit changes. Whatever files, I'm sure everyone knows that you just use gitignore to ignore the files that you don't want to. So here I make my share script. So I'm gonna name it and call it ito commit.shell. So I just clicked add, it doesn't matter. And yeah, so I've already written the shell script. I'm gonna copy paste it and then explain it, because this way we're going to save lots of time. This way, so yeah. Here we say it's a bash, so script, and then here we load the environment variables from our .env. So each environment variable that we have, including this void, everything is gonna be, each one of them is gonna be a variable, and each variable will be in a $sign. So we set all the arguments to use them actually. So we load the file, and then we here we this .env. So this loads the, if we say if it exists, then export all the arguments using the logic in the .env file. And then this part, actually you can also comment it if you want to add everything to Git manually yourself, and just use this shell script to write the commit messages. But for me, I'm too lazy to add the files or think about which files to add, so I just went to commit, and everything I want it to be handled by my shell script. So I just want to add everything, and then I made a few variables. So AI service, which is a variable, I use that to change the way that I want to use this shell script. So if I use I made three options available. So you can use Gemini, you can use local, or you can use Groq. So how do we use that? Later I'm gonna use this AI service variable here in the code to know which function to call. This way I just use the right function to generate the commit messages. So at first I'm gonna use local, but later I'm gonna use also Groq and Gemini and test and try them out with all of them. And then within Groq, I chose the model name here. So to know which model names are available, you can just visit Groq, and then in the playground you have the model names. I've already tested it with Llama 3 70B and Llama 3 8B. With the other ones maybe it works, but some models maybe need more instructions, or maybe a change of the JSON structure or a better prompt. So for me, with Llama 3 and Llama 70B and 8B both works. I haven't tried it with the other ones, so I haven't yet listed them. Of course, you can feel free to try them out. And then with Gemini models, I've already tried them with these Gemini models. Of course, same as Groq. If you go to AI Studio, and then here the Gemini models, the names are also here. So we have Flash Pro and Gemini 1 Pro, and then Gemma 2, which is very new and open source. And yeah, so I've already tried them with these three, not with Gemma, but actually Gemma is not a bad option. But I would say if I want to use Gemma, I would use it in my local environment, not with Gemini. So, and then with local, I use as I use Ollama for which Ollama model I would like to use with Ollama. So right now I have chosen Phi 3, Of course, you should make sure that you have it already installed, and if not, you should you should just install it. So actually, I prefer changing it to Codestra latest because it's a model fine-tuned for coding and on Olama. So, and I already have it installed as a model, so I can choose it, and it's quite powerful, really, really powerful for our use case to generate code commits because it's been fine-tuned for coding. It can understand the code way better than the other models, I would say. Of course, Llama 3 is also quite powerful, and Phi is also very nice to give it a shot. And then after so these variables is just to handle the things that might change later. So if you want to change, if you want to generate your commit messages locally, you don't want to send any code or your code changes to any external API. Maybe your code is very sensitive. You want to keep the information in your own computer locally, but still you want to have the joy of using AI, so you can use your local Olama AI. In case of speed, performance, maybe sometimes for personal projects, you may want to use Groq or Gemini. That's why I made them all available here. And then the model names. Nowadays, every few weeks or months, we have a new model more powerful than the previous ones. So I strongly suggest using a variable to have it to be able to change it whenever you want and introduce new models. So it's quite handy. And then here I use this variable to capture the git differences output. So this variable actually run this code git diff cached, and what it does, if you just I just run it in my like if I clear the command terminal and then use that, actually it tells you what has changed and what hasn't. And then if I just use git add and then git diff, it actually, the combination of these two can tell you what has changed and which lines are new, which is with a plus, and then you know what's going on, what has happened, and by clicking space you get all the git changes. So it's quite useful to it's a part of a critical part of our shell script. So we should have that because without it we don't know what has changed. And then we save all this information in this diff output variable, and then we check if it was empty, then we don't need to continue with the process. So we just echo no changes for commit, and then we exit. If there were some changes, then we continue. Now we make the prompt here, and the prompt can get much better. Feel free to change it as you like. For me, it works quite nicely. I liked it this way. Of course, the prompt should be very descriptive, and the instructions should be very informative and in a nice way, informing the AI how to act and how to do its job. So I've already, yeah, I put this like generate a commit message in JSON format in the following changes. The JSON object should only contain two fields, commit message and files. Each file should have a file and changes field. The changes field should be a descriptive string summarizing the changes made on the exact same file and why we changed that. Output only the JSON object, nothing else. The commit message field should not be empty and should provide a summary of the changes. Do not include any explanations, examples, or any other text. Only output the JSON object. So it almost tells the AI model what to do and what do we need. So with the body, prompt body, we also have to provide the diff changes. So we say here are the changes, and then in the next line we put the diff output, which we already have it as a variable. So this way we have a prompt body and prompt intro. Then here I made a Groq API function. For the Groq function, I first get the API key from $Groq API key, and this $Groq API key already has been defined here. And then I shape the prompt with prompt intro, which is this variable. So, and then prompt, which is this one, prompt, and then prompt body, which is this one. So these two would be a part of the prompt, and then the payload, which actually is the it's what we send to the Groq API. So we use JQ here. That's why I said please install JQ, because without it we cannot use it here. So we use JQ to actually it's quite handy to use JQ in this use case to set the arguments. And then here I set the prompt argument as our prompt, which already has been defined, and then the model argument as our Groq AI model name, which we already here we defined. The payload, please check the API documentation here. Of course, you can also I think you can view code here, and you can use curl. So this way you have an example of how it should look like. Final curl CURL, or sorry to say curl, I always say curl CURL. So you can check how to send a CURL request. So, and yeah, so the response is gonna be the response that we get back after sending the request, and this is gonna be the request. So we send the request as a command, and then we save the response here, and then we go through the response accordingly. So here again we use JQ to go through the response in the JSON format, and then we go through it, and then we format the commit message and file changes. So this is how we use it. Same is for generating it locally. The only thing that changes here is the response URL, which we send the CURL request. Here we use a local request, and it's port 11434 for Olama, and we send this payload, which is the payload is a bit different, of course, according to Olama, but everything else is the same. Prompt intro, prompt body are the same. Model name is for local AI model name, and then you send the request and you get the once you got the response back, you just go through the response and find commit message and files that has changed. And then for Gemini, we have another function which is almost doing same stuff with a bit different, its own differentiation. So the API key is related to Gemini. The payload is a bit different here, the response request is a bit different. So here with Gemini, we should define the model name as a part of the CURL, and then the API key here. And then, yeah, we get back the results, and then we go through the results according to the API documentation. So in this case, it's like this. So feel free to read the API's documentation, and then you know how to use them. And then here we have a case which we check which AI model have we selected. Is it local, Groq, or Gemini? And accordingly we run one of these functions. So we just run one of them according to what we have chosen here as our AI service. So here it's local, then the local one, which is in our case Codestra latest, is gonna handling this git commit. And then here after this case we check the commit message, and we echo it as to let the V as programmer see the response, and then in a nice way, and then we ask if this response is right or not, and then we check the confirm, which is a confirm is a variable which is the result of this question. And in this question, if whether we say yes or why, we take it as a yes, and then we send the commit message, and then we push it also. Of course, feel free to not push it if you don't want, but I like to also push it always after committing the message. So just here I can to let's run it, because we already, let's change some stuff, like in our Vue app, Vue.js app, like in here maybe I remove this line or comment it. So I commented a few lines, and then I want to just see how my local environment is gonna generating my commit. ls -lr. So we have a problem actually. The problem is that this new file that we just made has not doesn't have any access. So I think I should fix the chmod of this file. Let's run this chmod to change it, then ls -li to make sure that we have that. Yes, here we can see that, then we can execute it. So we should wait because it's local, and now our local AI will generate the code changes. So we should wait, and let's see if it makes the commit message in the right way. It took sometimes very long because it's local, and it depends on how much powerful is your local computer. So here it's been generated commit message, update ito commit script, and modify headers in Axis utility. And then it says this file has been added, which is the ito commit shell, add a new script that automatically adds changes, sets up AI services for commit message generation and push changes. This is a significant update to improve efficiency and automation. Well done. The commit is very, very informative and nice. And then commented out the content, accept headers, whatever this was likely down to potential issues with this setting, but it's important to note that this change might have unintended consequences if not properly tested. And that's very informative, very nice. I would never write such a commit myself, so I'm definitely satisfied. If I say yes, it will push it, but I don't want to push it right now, because let's change now the AI service to Groq. Yeah, so if I want to use Groq, so I should actually set the Groq API key. Yeah, after setting the Groq API key, I change it to Groq, and now we use Groq Llama 3 70B to do the same thing. With Groq, it's gonna be very quick, I believe. Yes, it immediately made our commit message. Add script to generate commit message in JSON format and updated access to remove content. It's almost very nice. So I actually like the Codestral, although it is local, but I would say in this case that was even more informative comparing to Llama 3 70B. So, but the speed is amazing with Groq. So, and Llama 3 is quite powerful, maybe even more powerful than Codestral. So, using that, if speed is important and if code is not that important to send your code changes to Groq, I would say definitely you can give it a try. And then let's also change it to Gemini. For Gemini, I should also set the API key here. I already set the API key, so now I can run it. And yes, so here we say fix axes, remove default headers, the default head for causing issues with some requests, and then add a new script to automatically generate commit message using AI, and then define name. So that's also quite informative and nice. So it is very useful, very nice. So well done. I click yes now to see what happens. So the code changes has been sent and pushed. So let's check the git message. We can see here the git message. So this is the git message. Fix axes, the default, and then auto commit. Very nice git message. It could be more nice according to best practices how to send git messages. Of course, this was just an example how to generate git messages automatically. I will put this file on my GitHub account, so I will share the URL as a repository to give it a try, check it out, and yeah, change it as you like, make it more better. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Best of luck till next video.